sleep. I have never known of a case of sleep in hypnosis. But now let me show you a different way to do it. Now, Marcel, close your eyes again. When I have you open your eyes this time, a remarkable thing is going to happen. Any time that you see me pick up my stopwatch, you'll find that you instantly fall fast and sound asleep. It'll be the same sleep that you have at night. This won't be a hypnotic sleep that you'll fall into. This will be a natural, normal, everyday sleep, the same way that you have every night. You won't even remember that I've given you the suggestion when I have you open your eyes. But this will occur. You'll be guided by the suggestion, and you won't even know that I've given you a suggestion for sleep. But instantly you will fall fast and sound asleep anytime you see me pick up my stopwatch. At conscious level, you won't even know that I gave you that suggestion. But you will be guided by it. In fact, you can forget most of what we talked about now, and I'm going to test you by showing that you've forgotten your telephone number when I have you open your eyes. Now, when I have you open your eyes, you'll be wide awake and feeling so good. There you are. Open your eyes now and notice how good you feel. How do you feel?
Fine.
Good. Feel full of pep and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Say, Marcella, what's your telephone number?
Express 7.
Go on, isn't it?
It's out of order now.
Oh. Very just complete. Expression. Say, incidentally, Marcella, when you sleep at night, I'll bet you have a good night's sleep. Is that right? I'll bet you really.
This, I do.
Huh?
Since I've learned this, I do.
Yeah, I'll bet you do too. Do you remember anything we talked about while I had you hypnotized a little while ago? Don't remember a thing about it. Well, it's the funniest thing. This is an odd stopwatch. Now watch the difference. She is down to 7 respirations a minute. In a full minute, 7 respirations, which means that she is in deep sleep, and what I am going to do now should be completely successful. Marcella, you can hear me, but you can't wake up. You can hear me, but you can't wake up. I'll know that you're hearing me when this finger which I'm going to touch begins to rise. I'll know that you're hearing me, but you can't wake up. I'll know that you're hearing me, but you can't wake up. I'll know that when this finger rises. I'll know that you're hearing me, but you can't wake up. I'll know that you're hearing me, but you can't wake up. You can hear me, but you can't wake up. That finger will rise now because you can hear me, but you can't wake up. That's rising. That's rising. That's it. Can you see that finger rises? And now I know you can hear me, but you can't wake up. Marcella, the oddest things are going to happen when you do wake up. You are going to have complete anesthesia in your right arm from the shoulder to the fingertip. From the shoulder to the fingertip, you will have complete anesthesia in your right arm. Another odd thing that will happen is that you will have complete anesthesia in your left ear and on the earlobe. Every part of that ear will be completely anesthetized. Another odd thing that will happen is that any time I lift that stopwatch, you will immediately fall into the sound deep sleep again. Now, all these things will happen when you wake up. You will have complete anesthesia wherever I indicate it. Now I'll stop talking, and 5 seconds after I stop talking, you will wake up. Well, did you have a good snooze? What'd you do, fall asleep?
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Did you fall asleep?
I guess I did.
Uh-huh. Tell me something. What's the matter? I know you're just noticing you're rubbing your right arm there.
I was holding it.
Hmm?
I was holding it.
Oh, were you? I just wonder, would you just turn your head the other way, please? Turn your head the other way. Can you tell that anything was done at all to your right arm?
It feels funny.
Feels funny? How did it feel? Son,
Odd, like wood.
like wood the arm feels. Any feeling at all in that arm?
No.
The anesthesia which you get in this state is the most intense anesthesia in all hypnosis. Don't look at your arm, but tell me, did you feel anything being done to it at all when I came over there?
Yes and no.
Well, when you say yes, what sort of a feeling was it?
I don't know. Like it's not mine.
Like it isn't yours. Yeah? Now, I want to show you the intense anesthesia that you get. Just look the other way, will you, please? Did you feel anything at all being done to your left ear?
Mm-mm.
Is that good anesthesia, gentlemen, or is that good anesthesia? That's a tight Alice clamp. Don't anybody think that this is a loose Alice clamp or anything. It's a tight one. Try to close the Alice clamp on your left ear or your right arm and leave it dangle and see whether or not you feel anything or not. Now, here's the remarkable thing about this anesthesia. Watch me bring it right around and right up the left arm. Watch this. And what have I done, gentlemen? Compounding, is that correct? How's your left arm feel?
Tingles.
Got any feeling in it at all?
A little.
How's it now? All feeling gone?
Yeah.
Turn your head the other way, will you, please? feel anything being done to your left arm at all? Nothing. Let me tell you that deliveries done in this state are as satisfactory and sometimes far more satisfactory, because in this state you can give them the anesthesia while they're asleep and they can remain up and watch the birth of the baby, so that it has advantages in certain respects over the coma. You've done deliveries in this state, haven't you, Dr. Burple? How is it?
Just exceptional. I couldn't say enough about it. I think it's really terrific.
It's really terrific. Have you done any deliveries in it, Doctor? I don't know if you do deliveries in it.
I've done 2 or 3.
You've done 2 or 3. Isn't it good? Now,
I had one that was so relaxed that we hear the baby crying in utero when the vaginal opening was produced. I mean, air vent to the baby. It did a rotation. When the forceps went in there, he surely squealed.
can you imagine anything like that? Now, if you heard these statements being made by doctors who didn't know how to use hypnosis, but remember, these happen to be 2 men who are pretty well versed in it. This state, which she's got now, is the most amazing state in the world. Now, did you notice that I didn't attach the hypnosis to the sleep until her respirations were down to about 7 times a minute? That is most important. If you try to attach this state to a person whose respirations are around 9 or 10, you're going to be unsuccessful, and you might as well know it. And every failure you've ever had, Dr. Burple, and every failure you've ever had has been caused by the fact that the respirations were not down. If the respirations are down, you get the state. If they aren't down, you don't get the state, and that's awfully important. Why do you suppose I kept everybody waiting? Wasn't to build up dramatic suspense. I knew that I wanted to have a perfect result here. This is the same result I would have had with Pat, mind you, had Pat responded at the very start. But when Pat didn't respond, I said, oh, wait a minute. To use the deepest state of hypnosis on a person who won't respond to the lightest state of hypnosis, that's impossible. Now, how did I attach the hypnosis? Because those who don't know the art of hypnosis will never understand how the hypnosis was so instantaneously available. But to those of you who have heard me preach for the last 8 sessions and now the 9th one, you bypass the critical factor and establish selective thinking. Now, how did I bypass her critical factor? Merely by adding the words, you can hear me, but you can't wake up. The minute I said, you can hear me, but you can't wake up, that became a bypass of the critical factor, for indeed she could wake up, and she only thought she couldn't wake up. It's just the same way as you close your eyes and you think you can't open them, and you bypass the critical factor. She thinks she can't wake up, so she has the hypnosis. Now, once the critical factor was bypassed, we know that that's all that's necessary to achieve hypnosis scientifically. Now then, we proceed to add the selective thinking. Now, what did we add in the way of selective thinking? We added anesthesia. I bet you don't even remember my talking to you while you were asleep, do you? Remember anything about me talking to you while you were asleep? Don't you remember when I was talking to you in your sleep? Now, you see what I did? Now, there's a reproduction of the state again, achieved instantaneously. And when I tell you this is the deepest state of hypnosis, deepest state possible in hypnosis, I know what I'm talking about. This is beautiful. And you old students who haven't worked with it, it seems a pity that the most wonderful phase of hypnosis, that you let it go. Now, I know you're back here today to get it, but once you tuck it under your belt, put it to use every few days. You put this thing to use, and you'll love it. You people who see how easy it is to obtain. Work with it. You want to say something, Doctor?
It works beautifully in post-operative cases as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can go to sleep for 2 or 3 days just have the best time, go to sleep, and then I give them that suggestion.
Mhm.
It works beautifully.
Sure.
No morphine after the operation to speak of, no narcotics.
Yeah, yeah.
They get well quicker.
Sure they do. Their recovery is like magic. You would be amazed to find how fast surgical patients get well when this technique is used on them. And so far as that goes, it's such an intense anesthesia. You could do an incision on either of those arms, on the ear, and if you wanted, wherever you wanted to put that anesthesia now, you could put it, and it's complete. And the one glorious thing about this anesthesia, you haven't got an anesthesia at the hospital that you can test before you apply it to a person. That is to test how much anesthesia they're going to get or anything else. You haven't got an anesthesia like that. But here's an anesthesia where you can test. You know darn well that if she doesn't feel this now, she's not going to feel an incision. If you can attach towel clips like I can attach them, and I haven't removed the suggestion so it's still there, look at this. Attach it and leave it there, and she doesn't even know it's there. Couldn't even locate the area where it is. You know that that's a pretty good anesthesia. I want to show you that it is possible to do hypnoanalysis in sleep. So once again, I must check to see whether we've got the state that we want. Oh, I have to be so careful in going after this that I only do it when you got those respirations down. If you don't get those respirations down, I could probably, she's such a good subject that I could probably attach it even when her respirations are what they are at the present time. I tested her and found them to be at 10. That's too much. You can hear me, Marcella, but you won't wake up. You can hear me, but you won't wake up. I'll know that you're hearing me when this finger which I'm going to touch begins to rise, and it's rising already. It's starting to rise already. Fast and sound asleep. You can hear me, but you can't wake up, and this finger is starting to rise. That finger is starting to rise. Fingers starting to rise. That's right, you can hear me, but you can't wake up. Now, Marcella, the oddest thing is going to happen after I stop talking. You're going to have a dream memory in which you see yourself learning how to walk as a baby. It's going to be an actual memory. You'll be able to see the people that were there. If it was inside, you'll be able to see the scene, the color of everybody's clothing. You'll be able to see where you're walking to or from and who you're walking to or from. You'll be able to hear the words. If it was an outside scene, you'll see just how the weather is and everything, and just how you're dressed and how everybody else is dressed. And you'll see how you're dressed even if it's an inside scene, and you'll see how everybody else is dressed too in this scene. All I'll do is stop talking, and you will have that dream, and then you will wake up, and you'll have that dream, within a couple of seconds after I stop talking. But the next time that I lift my stopwatch, you'll go into an even deeper sleep than you did this time. All right, now, I'll stop talking, and you'll have that dream memory. I'm going to wake up. Well, did you have a nice sleep? Did you have any dreams while you were sleeping, or any memories or anything?
Yeah.
What did you dream? What happened?
Well, I was walking. I was out at my grandfather's. And I had a diaper on. And he was telling me to come to him, and I started to go to him, and I fell.
Yeah.
He laughed at me, and I cried because I hurt my knee.
Yeah. Did you like seeing yourself learning how to walk again? Huh?
No. I look fat, and I've never been real fat. I don't remember Grandpa ever looking like that.
I mean, never.
I mean, he seems so much younger. I can't remember ever looking that young.
Can't remember Grandpa ever looking that young?
Mm-mm.
But where was this, inside or outside?
In the house.
What room?
In the living room by the big round table.
Uh-huh. And where were you walking to or from?
From my grandmother. She held me.
Yeah. How was she dressed?
She was standing behind me. I don't remember.
Oh.
My grandpa had gray pants on and a gray shirt.
Gray pants on and a gray shirt.
And he was kneeling down.
And you had on just the diapers?
And a shirt.
Diapers and a shirt.
No shoes.
No shoes. Must have been less than a year old, huh?
I don't know.
Well, you were probably very, very young when that happened. Did it seem like a dream or did it seem like a memory?
It seemed kind of real.
It seemed kind of real. It was real. Tell me something. How's your right arm now?
What?
Do you have any feeling in it at all?
Yeah.
Has feeling in it now? How's your left arm?
It's all right.
How's your ear? Feel your ear. See if that anesthesia's gone.
Yeah.
Got feeling now.
It's okay.
All right. Now, you had a nice. Say, is there some part of your lifetime you'd like to see again besides when you were learning how to walk?
I don't think so. I'm afraid I might hit a bad one.
No, you wouldn't hit a bad one. I'd keep you from that. You wouldn't hit a bad one at all. Did you live with Grandpa and Grandmother all the time, or just
No, just for a while.
Just for a while? And you have any brothers and sisters?
Brother.
A brother. Is he older or younger?
A year older.
And was he there at Grandpa's too?
I didn't see him.
You didn't see him. And
I just saw a little part of the room. Just with the table, and I was walking around the table.
You were walking around the table? You must have been a pretty little kid. You want to ask something?
Had she remembered when you picked up that watch, could she still get it?
Oh, still subject to the suggestion. Would be subject to the suggestion for maybe weeks.
No, I mean, you told her that she wouldn't remember it. But I mean, some of the things in the very beginning, you told her that she wouldn't remember them. Well, even if she had them, I mean, could she ultimately get in this state?
Oh, sure.
What countered the anesthesia?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Just the putting her right back into the state and giving her. She figured we were through with the anesthesia. Usually the state does not erase it. But in her case, she thought that it was erased. So it was nice.
How long would that last?
Oh gosh, that would last for a day, 2 days, 3 days. In post-operative care, it'll last for 2 and 3 and 4 days.
Would it start, were there any other type of anxiety for this state?
Remember, fear will counter any state of hypnosis. Fear would affect any state of hypnosis. Marcella is absolutely free of fear. That's why she makes such an excellent subject for our demonstration this afternoon. She is so free of fear that it's beautiful to work with her because she takes suggestions so beautifully. Has she ever been in this state before? Did you ever use the sleep state on her?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, after she had been in the state, supposing she had to have a pelvic examination when a young girl, 15 or 16, or she's going to have something done surgically, and she knew about it. Would that type of anxiety arouse out of this?
No, I don't think it's got to be a fear about the operation. If there's morbid fears in there, if there's any type of fear, a disturbance, you must realize that this is as vulnerable to fear as any phase of hypnosis. Fear knocks everything. You've got to keep the fear out. Keep the fear out. Have her like Marcella is here now, and Marcella is just so wonderful to work with. You see, what's wonderful about her is that she is not an extrovert. She is just a very lovely person. And when you see her, you're not seeing the flamboyancy of the extrovert at taking suggestions, but you're seeing how a nice person, a very nice person, this same girl could be in your office and is probably reflected 100 times in every doctor's list of patients. The nice patient who needs medical help. And that's the type that she represents so beautifully, and that's why it's such a pleasure to work with her.
Stanley, you had been working with her before on just compounding the suggestion. The first time I ever worked with her with this particular stage, I want to say it was less than 2 minutes from the time she was fully awake until she was right down to the place that she wanted to be to work with her.
Yeah.
Just about every 15 seconds, I would have to open her eyes and go down again.
Yeah.
Of course, she just came up and dropped each time. I mean, just could take them just beautifully and going very, very fast.
Yeah. Well, right now, I could have taken her much faster.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But I wanted the doctors to see it in slow motion, because you can get this state much faster. You people know it. But I'm showing it in slow motion so that they can see what it's like. I haven't even counted the respiration, but knowing that she takes the state so beautifully, I know she's ready for it. Marcella, you can hear me now. You can hear me now, but you won't wake up. And I'd like to prove to all the doctors here this afternoon, while you're fast and sound asleep like this, that we can hold a conversation and you won't wake up. And you won't even remember anything about the conversation, but the conversation will in no way embarrass you or anything like that. Marcella, would you give your name and address, please, but you will not wake up.
Marcella Stevens, 75 Signal Hill, East St. Louis.
And now, Marcella, I want you to tell me something. Is there any part of your lifetime that was a very lovely thing that you would like to see over again? Yes, I know there is. What is it? You can tell me, but you won't wake up. What is it? I'll have you see it as real as you saw it the first time. Oh, that lovely smile, that meant that something was very, very pleasant in your lifetime that you'd love to see over again. And I promise you it won't take you into any embarrassing spots or anything like that.